What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing another collaboration beer. This time between Hop Butcher for the World, and they are out of Chicago, Illinois, and the Resident Culture Brewing Company, and they are out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And this is their Strong Arm Jon. So they're calling this one a Citra, Amarillo, Simcoe, Centennial, and Nectaron-hopped IPA. Comes in at 6.75% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review. This can is just over 1 month old. I'm going to give a huge thanks shout out once again to Hop Butcher for hooking me up with this beer. So big thanks to them. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail video I did that contains all the goodies they hooked me up with. And I'm really excited about this one because I've had one other collaboration between Hop Butcher and Resident Culture. Was their Pleasant Dank, and it was like a, I think it was a double IPA, really dank, hazy double IPA, and it was quite delicious. I reviewed that one late last year. I think it was in November of 2021. Really good. So when I saw this one, I was like, okay, looking at the hops, Amarillo, Simcoe, Centennial, and then Citra, some old school hops, right? Nectaron, relatively new school, but I'm thinking this is not going to be hazy. I don't think it's going to be. We'll see. I didn't really look at pictures or anything of this one, but I don't think this is going to be a haze bomb, but we'll see. If it is, then cool. If not, then cool. Either way, I'm here to drink it. Anyway, let's get a pour here. Yeah, see, this, it might be hazy, but it has a nice clarity when I'm pouring it. So, yeah, do something like that. Oh, big head, overfilled. So I should have done the trick that Bud told me to do, where you just do the quick turns. Watching, what you call it recently, Better Call Saul. They had a, I think it was a ginger ale that kind of fell, and they picked it up and they just did the quick one, and it made the head, it didn't explode, and probably what I should have done with this one, but I didn't. So let's put this over here for now. So let me get a paper towel. Just spilled it a little bit, not spilled it, but when I cracked open, it kind of exploded everywhere. So let me get going here. Okay, something like that, and we'll just put that over here for now. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, there is some haziness, if you see it here, but it's not crazy hazy. Has a little, it's like, this is like a old school Vermont IPA. Has some haze to it, but there's some chill haze as well, some condensation in addition to that. But yeah, it has this really nice yellow-orange color, about a 2.5, 3 finger of this bright white soap sudsy looking head. Like I said, poured a little bit aggressively out there. What can do? It happens. Anyways, let's get nose. Nice. Oh, how did I fucking, I missed that because I'm blind. Anyway, yeah, that has a big citrus note. Wow, like lemon, lime, candied grapefruit, orange, tangerine. Dare I say Tangelo? Wow, this is fucking crazy citrus. Like ripe citrus is also zesty and like pithy. Juicy. It's like the entire fruit. It's like, you're maybe making some like fresh orange juice, and you just like, let me just take a little bite out of the peel, or or did you ever bite into an orange? I've done it a couple times in my life, just biting straight into an orange. It's an interesting experience, but that's kind of what I'm getting here. There's a little bit of like a tropical, like stone fruit, maybe like a peach, apricot, mango, something like that. And then there's this nice, like, we'll say like there's a piney, maybe like floral sensation in the nose. Maybe a little bit of a dankness. You know what this smells like? I haven't tasted it yet, obviously, but this smells like, shout out to a viewer of the channel, Ross, who always hooks it up when I start, losing track of how much these cost. He always throws it in the comment section. But I did a beer recently from Hop Butcher. I forget the name of it, but I always say, like, it's a new school meets old school, so you get, like some of the new school fruitiness, the tropical and the stone fruits and whatnot, a little bit sweeter, but then you get the old school, like piney, more of like a heavy citrus tone. And I'm like, oh, it's just like old school meets new school. And he said, that's pretty much what I feel like Midwest IPAs are. Midwest IPAs aren't like technically like an actual style, but there's a lot of breweries in the Midwest that will call their beers Midwest IPAs. And I feel like this has that kind of feel to it, like a Midwest IPA. Man, I just love that bright, it's a bright, intense citrus tone. Like, it's crazy. Like, almost smelling like a fresh citrus juice. Man, that smells awesome. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again to Hop Butcher. Infinitely crushable. The taste follows the nose, but I think it's a little less pungent, a little less boisterous, impactful, just kind of a little bit subdued from the nose, but that's not a bad thing. I love the body and mouthfeel because this is giving me, again, old school vibes, but like, you know, IPAs, how they were 7 to 10 years ago, right before the hazy / New England style kind of took over. The body on this one's like medium body, 7.75%. I'm happy with it. The mouthfeel, it's crisp. It's relatively clean on the palate too, maybe a slight like lingering bitterness, but it's just so clean on the finish. Really nice, man. It's almost a lager-esque in that sense, honestly. I don't think I'd confuse this as like an IPL or like a cold IPA, but it definitely just has that refreshing kind of easy, crisp quality you get from a lager. So I really like the body and mouthfeel. The taste, I could use like a little bit more oomph overall, right? It's somewhat, like I said, dialed back from the nose, and I wish that nose would have carried over because I think the nose would have kind of made this beer pop overall, and just something that I absolutely adore. As is, I like it. It's just, it's not as good as I thought it was going to be based on the nose. It has all that, you know, zesty, juicy citrus quality, orange, grapefruit, lemon lime, tangerine. Again, juice meets the zest, meets the pith, all of it, like all encompassing of the fruit. It's right at the forefront. Passes through like a quick dollop of like a peach or an apricot, or maybe even like a, not really a mango, maybe like a papaya, something like that. And then about 2/3 away through the palate, there's this real nice resinous. I'm getting like piney. It's piney, it's floral, and there's a little bit of dankness. And this finish is moderately bitter with a nice semi to full-on dry finish. This definitely leans, I think, a little bit more bitter than I'm accustomed to from Hop Butcher beers. I think I'd want the bitterness toned down maybe a little bit, and a little bit more of that citrus at the front of the palate being as intense as it was on the nose, because I feel like, again, you dial it back by like 25, maybe to 30%, and you lose a little bit from the nose. Overall, though, this is really nice, easy to drink. Again, maybe a little bit more bitter than I like, but I think this is a good beer. If you want to call it a Midwest IPA, sure. If you want to call it an old school American IPA, that's cool too. But this has the old school qualities with a little bit of new school influence, and I dig it. It's nothing amazing, but I think they did a pretty good job. And collaboration sometimes go sideways, and this didn't go sideways. It's just good, and there's nothing wrong with that. So Strong Arm Jon, collaboration between Hop Butcher and Resident Culture. I'm going to give this a low, I think we're going to go, tasting note show. We're going to go low 4. We'll go 3.9. 3.9 out of 5, I think, is a fair score for this beer. We'll do tasting notes in a second. I want to mention the alcohol. Nothing. No warming in the chest, nothing on the palate. Hop Butcher usually does a great job with their hiding the alcohol. This is sub 7%. I didn't expect to taste any alcohol, and I don't. So, tasting notes, bright citrus. Like they couldn't have nailed that any better. Like, 100% bright citrus, especially in the nose. On the palate, a little less bright, but still there. Ripe peach. I said peach a couple times. I wouldn't say ripe peach, and I wouldn't say it's all that noticeable for me, but I can see it. And then juicy berry. Nope, didn't say a damn thing about berries because I got absolutely 0 berries. So they're 2 for 3 for what I tasted, and that bright citrus, without question, to me, is the predominant note here, and I like it. So 3.9 out of 5. Price and availability, again, the aforementioned Ross, I believe he said this, and like their double IPAs that usually differ by like 1%. Typically in the, I think he said, was it? See, I forget. I'm like, oh, Ross said this, and I'm like, you're old and you forgot. I think he said they're $15, $16. I think $15.99 a 4-pack. I've had other people say that some of these are $14.99. I always like to say, let's just say 15 to 16 bucks a 4-pack, depending on probably where you buy them. But if it's 16 bucks a 4-pack, that's fine for something like this. And availability, it's Hop Butcher. So you can get them in Chicago. They get distro into a bunch of different states now, overseas. If you want some Hop Butcher stuff, you can probably get it if you put a little effort into it. Maybe trade with somebody, or maybe look at some places online, whether you're here in the US or overseas in Europe. You can get your hands on them if you really want to. So appreciate Hop Butcher sending me this beer. I have one more from their most recent pack, their Crinkle Cut, which I'm really looking forward to. It's an all Idaho 7 hopped pale ale, and that should make Adam Mercy beers. Really excited about that. But anyway, good beer. Thanks to Hop Butcher. If you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. I think it's pretty damn good, and I'm going to go drink the rest of it. Until the next one. Cheers.